Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. So, business entrepreneur, rap mogul Kanye West has declared that BLM, aka Black Lives Matter, was, and is a scam. Not a surprise to me, and not a surprise to a significant number of Americans in this country who have been saying that Black Lives Matter is a scam for a long time. But I guess it takes someone who's out there in the limelight to make this confession. So let's get into this article. Let's see exactly what he has to say, and let's see what this article has to say. And then I'm going to give you my commentary. And it says, rap mogul and billionaire fashion entrepreneur Kanye West has declared that Black Lives Matter was always just a scam, saying that the movement is now, quote, over. On Tuesday, Kanye West posted something looked like an obituary for the BLM movement to his Instagram stories, taking at least partial credit for his demise. And if you look at the article, and you look at the article in Black Lives, if you look at the article in Breitbart News, it'll give a picture of this supposed image, and it states, "Everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome." And you scroll down, and it looks just like what it says, all black, right? It's crazy. The article goes on to say, West's terse declaration comes as BLM is currently under fire for allegedly misappropriating millions of dollars in fundraising. And let me bring out real quick, too, to make it clear about BLM. This is in reference to the organization, not so much the foot soldiers. I'm going to talk about the foot soldiers in a little bit. Okay, but this is more or less in reference to the organization itself, the administrative part. Okay. And it says, and as Breitbart News reported, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation executive Shalimar Bowers has been accused of, quote, siphoning off more than $10 million from donors, allegedly funneling the money to his consulting firm after he joined the board of the foundation. Now, this is common in big corporations that get huge donations like this. This is common. This is not, I mean, this could happen to any corporation and has happened to other corporations regardless of their political affiliations. So this is not new. The point is here is that Black Lives Matter have posed as the arbiters of righteousness and the arbiters of justice, and yet they themselves are dishonest, lying liars. Okay. Let me be cool about this. Let me be professional. They're liars. They're hypocrites. Let's go on. Been saying this kind of stuff. Earlier this year, BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors admitted to using the group's $6 million property to host private parties after she had previously resigned from the organization. I bet she did. You ought to resign from the organization. You're a liar. You're a hypocrite. Goes on to say, Cullors previously came under fire for purchasing a $1.4 million compound in the upscale Los Angeles neighborhood of Topanga, I believe is how it's pronounced. And I attribute that in large in part to Candace Owens, who actually, I believe she went to this woman's home. Well, she wasn't right in front of her home, but there was a documentary piece that Candace Owens was trying to do to expose this woman for what she was doing, because the mainstream media is not going to do that. Mainstream media is not going to do that because the mainstream media is nothing more than another Marxist front group, as far as I'm concerned. The reporters and journalists support Marxism, so they're not going to cover stuff like this. Article goes on to say the new documentary, Uncle Tom 2, and I saw one was excellent, exposes BLM as one in a long line of social, political movements orchestrated by white Marxists. That's very important we understand that. Because the foot soldiers, what you see, blacks. Rah, 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 rah. Justice, justice, justice. But in behind the scenes, those that actually control the group are white Marxists. And we got to understand what Marxism is. Marxists, I said this in the previous video, Marxists are not people of order. They're agents of chaos. They're using the Saul Alinsky concept of causing chaos. And if anyone is not familiar with Saul Alinsky, he was a neo-Marxist back in the early 60s. And he wrote a book called Rules for Radicals in 1971, and a book that he actually dedicated to Lucifer. And for those that's wondering, do you have his book? Yes, I have his book, and I've read it and reading it right now. And he gives tactics on how to attack groups and individuals and corporations with Marxist ideology. They're using, in part, in my opinion, the Saul Alinsky concept of conquer and divide. They're agents, Black Lives Matter are agents of chaos. The purpose is to create chaos where there was no chaos, or take opportunities of crisis moments, jump on those situations, and cause as much chaos as possible in order to create a revolution. Then, as I often say, the true Marxists usually are white. They come in and push their globalist, socialist / communist agenda. That's what that's all about. Let's go on. By white Marxists who are intent on manipulating Black Americans, yes they are, to foment racial strife with the ultimate goal of undermining American institutions. This is how these Marxists operate. This is what they believe in. This is what they push. The purpose is to dismantle the institutions in our country in order to rebuild it again into the communist country that they want. This is the procedure and the process in every country in the past where communists / Marxists, because that's their methodology and their philosophy, have infiltrated. That's what they do. One of the first things that they do is they attack the institutions in those countries. They demonize them, they marginalize them, demonize them, focus on them, and what Saul Alinsky says, they isolate them and freeze them. To isolate, Saul Alinsky mentioned in his book, Rules for Radicals, you isolate the opponent and then you freeze them, which means you separate them from everybody else and you freeze them, which simply means that you put all your focus on them. You harp as much negativity on them as you possibly can. Don't we see that with Black Lives Matter, with the institutions in America? Isn't that what we see? And going back to these past groups in other countries that they use the concepts of Marxism. When these communists infiltrate those countries, that's what they do. They marginalize and demonize the institutions in those countries in order to destroy them and then recreate them into what they want. This is what is happening in America, and this is what BLM represents. The article goes on to say, this week, Kanye West was spotted wearing a White Lives Matter sweatshirt while promoting his fashion line in Paris, France. And this is pretty heavy here. And that's the end of the article. But at the end of the article, you will see literally a picture of Candace Owens on the left. And I guess this is a picture of, obviously, Kanye West on the right. Now, their backs are turned against the camera. But both Candace Owens has a white shirt that says White Lives Matter in black letters. And Kanye West has a black shirt that has White Lives Matter in white letters. Clearly, they're saying this is what we believe in. Now, that's the end of that article, but let me tell you this right up front. If someone was to do that as an African-American here in the city of Cleveland, you was to do that, or a regular African-American like myself was to do something like that, man, I'd be persecuted. They'd probably kill me. But clearly, they're making a statement here. Now, I'm not going to even argue about them wearing them shirts. Hey, I wear shirts that are controversial, that are in your face, because that's what I believe. It is what it is. But let me summarize it this way. Whether Kanye West is sincere in what he's doing, or whether it's just another political front or whatever, I have no idea. Okay. I was never a fan of Kanye West before I got into politics. I didn't become a fan of him when I started getting into politics in 2016. I admire some of the things he said, but I was always wondering, okay, man, from what I understand, he does seem to be unstable in some ways and what's going on here. But I began to read up some things about Kanye West and mind control and MK Ultra and things like that. But that's a whole nother story, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. The point is that he's adamant about what he's saying, and this is what he believes. But let me say this. He made the statement that Black Lives Matter is over. I don't know. I don't know if Black Lives Matter is over. I don't know if they're over. I believe that the deception is going to intensify come November, and that the violence and deception is going to intensify come the 2024 election process. And I believe that Black Lives Matter is going to be involved in this. They're going to be involved in this because for whatever reason, they got to get the black people's mind. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not harping on black people. I'm just telling you that's what the Black Lives Matter. That's what it's supposed to be about, right? It's supposed to be about black lives that matter, right? You know, that's what it's supposed to be about. But it's being shown that they really don't care about black people. Now, let's just set aside the idea that these officials of Black Lives Matter organization, global organization, are misusing and misappropriating these funds. Let's just put that aside. We've already seen that done. What about the part where the foot soldiers burn, loot, assault, and sometimes kill people? In 2015, I believe, wasn't it someone who was associated with Black Lives Matter that assassinated and killed 5 police officers? And when the investigation was done, I believe he was associated with Black Lives Matter. He at least adopted their ideology. But no one wants to look at that. But I'm going to talk about it. They're murderers. And they're here to cause division, not unity. Everywhere they go is always problems. It's always, for the most part, riots. Because that's what the people who follow it has been brainwashed and conditioned to believe. So hooray for Kanye West. If he's sincere with this, hooray for him. Or hooray for Candace Owens for going forth. You know, look, you can say what you want to say, but hey, I commend them. I commend them. If he's sincere, I commend him. I know Candace Owens is sincere. I don't even have to even say nothing about her. I know everybody that is watching this video. I know you familiar with Candace Owens. I don't even have to reiterate her. She's brash, in your face. She tells it like it is, and I admire that. Everyone is not able to do that. But she does it, and she don't blink an eye. And if people don't like the way she puts forth the facts, then tough. That's her mentality. Tough. Deal with it. It's reality. It's the truth. It's facts. And so, hooray for both of them. Okay, hooray for both of them. But I just wanted to give you my comments on this situation with Kanye West exposing Black Lives Matter Corporation or the global network as a big scam, which it is. Was, is, and always will be. I would like to add. But that's just my comments on it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.